So firstly, when I applied for the scholarship in China to get a bachelor's of marketing, and then I got that. But then that's marketing generally speaking, all these other little things are under it. But then I think it was my third year, I had a digital marketing class. I think that's where it spanned from it. And I was like, I'm not so much of this financial market kind of guy. Like, I don't like numbers. And then I also had a communication and advertising class, and I was like, damn, this is me. This is what I want to do. Like, if I go back home, I'm going to apply for jobs in these. And I'm so thankful when I came back to Samoa. Like, I jumped on a job with Taumesina Resort, which is one of the biggest resorts in the island right now. And they were looking, and digital marketing is fairly new in the islands. Like, you don't have many people that know how to do it. People think that you're a digital marketer, all you do is just post something online. But then it's more technical than it is social. Like, yeah, anyone can post a photo, anyone can do a caption, that's fine. But how do you use that in terms of a marketing point of view to gain sales for the company? So I can just put this photo here and then only 2 people see it. That's bloody waste of time. Yeah. You're just, it's more technical than it sounds. But then, I got a job at Taumesina Resort, and then moved on to Vodafone, Samoa, because it's an upcoming role within the companies now, because everything is online, and they need people that understand how to technically use social media platforms to gain for the company. So Vodafone opened up a whole new role, which was new. Nobody was there for me to come in and do that for them, which was really fun. Like, I don't know, if someone's watching today and they're like in marketing, go do digital marketing. It's probably the most fun thing to do.
Especially in Samoa, where, like you said, there's hardly any.
Yeah,
and it's beginning to build up there. So.
It is. And
all these big companies, they need...
Exactly. Especially these, like, in terms of Vodafone, my last job before I came was I worked for Vailima Breweries. They hired me because of that, because they needed someone to push their social media platform. And as easy as it may seem, once you get into it and you know the technical side of everything else, man, you'll understand that everything is online. Like we first spoke, like that post you saw on our mutual friends page, I didn't do that just to let people know I'm coming to New Zealand. I did that so people can see that my business is coming from Samoa to New Zealand, and I'm trying to engage them to give me business there. It all comes out to you have to have a business mind to do that. But then, as much as it is social media, it's fun, but then you can take that fun and make money out of it. You know what I mean?
Because I try to do some of that for the podcast and all that kind of stuff. Like use all the social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram and all that. But then when you have to get into the analytics and all that, I find that hard, man. Like too much work. Like, but that's your job, huh?
That's the actual job. Like it's all analytics at the back, like the back end, and you post a photo today, and then you go tomorrow and look at the analytics and see which demographics saw that, and then who was seeing your posts and all of that, and then you work around the analytics, and you'll be like, okay, only people from 25 to 30 are more interested on the posts. So these are the people you have to think about, and then you cater to what they want in terms of their demographic. Like you're selling a phone, like you're not going to sell a phone and say, oh, it's good for you to like something that relates to someone older, because they're not going to see it. Your demographic is 25 to 30. So you have to cater to these kind of things, which that's what I mean. It's very technical at the end.
Yeah, and I find it real daunting, eh?
Yeah,
And it's sort of, and kind of scary too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I don't want to see the numbers, like, sort of thing. Oh man, because what does that mean? What does it actually mean? And I know what you're saying when you go in and find the demographics and you, for every single post, why is this post different to this post? Because that's another thing, eh? When every time I post that stuff, they're all different. The numbers are all different for each.
Yeah. Like
one hits, one doesn't.
Yeah.
And you just don't know why. But then I know I have to go in and have a look.
You have to go in and have a look. Because sometimes it falls down to the algorithm of whatever social platform you're on. But then if you have the followers, is probably the most biggest thing that, like, for instance, if it's TikTok, like you post something, people are viewing it from, like, people are not your friends and stuff like that. So the algorithm works within that, like bringing your video up so all these people can see. But then platforms like Instagram and Facebook, where you have to gain followers to actually, and these followers will see your posts no matter what. Like, you'll probably be the person to pop up on their page. But it's just thinking around in ways to make it more, what's the word? Ways to be attractive to the viewer, because you can't just put anything up there. It has to be interesting. And I went through your Instagram before even it came here, because as you asked me, have you ever, do you listen to podcasts? Like, and I said, I'm from the islands. We don't even listen to that. We hardly listen to the radio. But yeah, it's just taking parts of from what you're doing that would be interesting to the people. Like, yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, it's work anyway. It's work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and I think it's a lot of work people don't want to do, or don't, just unconscious about.
Yeah,
they just do it, and then I think the people that hit and get a lot of followers in that, I think they've just done something that. I don't think they've actually gone into the analytics.
It's not so much, well, for these people that are not digital marketers or haven't studied marketing or doesn't even know anything about it. All they know is social media. I post something up. I think it's the reason why these people get so many viewers and so many followers is because they have a niche. So they have a specific niche that people will come back to. So they'll be saying, I do funny videos, like I talk specifically about the Samoan life and stuff like that. So that's not specifically me, but an example. That's my niche, and that's what I put on social media. So every time I want to see something and laugh to something that is Samoan related and family related, I'll go find your name. I'll be like, yeah, he probably posted something else. That's the kind of thing that's happening on social media, and that's why that's why most of these people are getting so many views, is because they're doing the same thing but in different aspects. You know what I mean? Like, they have a niche of what they do on social media. And
it's kind of like what I learned with podcasting. Like, I heard that because every podcast in the world there's thousands, and they're all specific. Yeah. So you're only going to get that niche audience. Yeah. Like, if there's a podcast about looking after turtles. Yeah. They're going to talk about turtles. There's probably 100,000 people out there in the world. Yeah. That they love that. So they only those people will listen to it.
Exactly. Yeah. I know what you mean. But then you have to, because it's such a limited topic that you're talking about, then you look for the interesting things within that topic. Like something that people will learn, or like something new. Like, you don't have to post the whole podcast, but you take that little snippet. They'll be like, this is probably something that they will be interested in. Oh, I didn't know turtles live up to 150 years. Thanks to Nemo. I learned that off Nemo. But yeah, it's just like that. It's finding ways to sell your business in terms of what you are actually selling.